You blend your foundation for 10 minutes until it looks perfect. Then you catch your reflection in the car mirror, and every line on your face suddenly stands out. The foundation has settled into your marionette lines and caked on your dry patches, making you look older than you did with bare skin. This happens to far too many women over 45. For 30 years, I've been a Korean makeup artist with my own salon. Most of my clients are women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. I'm 51. I'm not guessing what mature skin needs. I'm wearing it. And I've worked on thousands of faces like yours. That experience taught me exactly which popular foundations betray mature skin and which single one actually works with it. And if you're using any of the first 4 on this list, you are making your skin look older every single time you put on makeup. I'm going to test 5 popular foundations, tear apart the 4 that fail mature skin, and show you the one I actually use on every client over 45. Number 5. NARS. I'm giving this a negative 10 out of 10, and I don't say that lightly. I had a client come in last month wearing this foundation, a beautiful woman in her late 50s with normal, mature skin. Nothing extreme, just the usual dryness and some fine lines around the eyes and mouth. She told me she picked this up because a beauty counter associate recommended it, said it would give her a flawless finish. When I looked at her face in my salon lighting, the foundation was just sitting on top of her skin like a layer of paint on old wood. It hadn't blended into her skin at all. It had settled into every fine line around her eyes and her smile lines, and her complexion looked like she hadn't slept in 3 days. The foundation had crawled into every crease and sat there like dust in a crack. She looked 10 years older than when she walked in barefaced. And this woman has beautiful skin. The foundation did that to her. I cleaned her face and started fresh, and the difference was immediate. Her bare skin had more life to it than the foundation gave her. That's a problem. When bare skin looks better than your product, the product has failed. And here's what's frustrating. The ingredient that makes NARS sit like paint on mature skin, 2 of the other foundations on this list use the exact same one. Only one of them figured out how to fix it. NARS for mature skin is a hard pass. But the next foundation on this list fooled me for years, and it's probably fooling you right now. Number 4, Lancome. I'm giving this a 3 out of 10. And before you come for me in the comments, hear me out. Because what Lancome does in the first 5 minutes on your skin is genuinely impressive. The problem is what it does in minute 60. Here's where it gets tricky. Lancome blends beautifully. The application is smooth, the feel on the skin is nice, and in the first 5 minutes you think you've found something special. But for women over 45 who need coverage for enlarged pores and uneven texture, this foundation comes up short. It just doesn't provide enough coverage where mature skin actually needs it. The finish looks dewy and skin-like at first, but it's a tease. It won't hold. I've tested this on at least a dozen clients in my chair over the years, and the feedback is always the same. It feels lovely going on, but it doesn't do enough work. One client, mid-50s, used it for a wedding and called me the next morning. She told me she spent half the reception avoiding the photographer at her own daughter's wedding. Because every time she caught her reflection in a window, she could see the foundation failing on her face. Her pores were showing through, and the coverage around her nose had basically vanished. She didn't feel like herself in a single photo from that night. For the price point, you deserve a foundation that shows up for your skin, not one that just feels pleasant during application and then quits working 2 hours later. Beautiful blend, but not enough substance where it counts. And the next one on this list is going to make some of you angry, because you're probably using it right now and thinking it's working. Number 3, Huda Beauty. 5 out of 10. And I want to be fair here because this foundation isn't bad. It does what a foundation is supposed to do. It gives you coverage, it sits reasonably well, and it doesn't cause any major problems on mature skin. But that's the issue. It doesn't give you that moment. I had a client, 58, sit in my chair for a holiday party look. Dry skin, fine lines, the works. I put Huda Beauty on her and stepped back. She looked in the mirror, paused, and said, "It's fine." That pause told me everything. When a woman says fine about her makeup, she means she expected more and she's being polite. You should look in the mirror and think, there she is. Huda doesn't give you that. Then I did something I'd been wanting to test for months. I put a $12 drugstore foundation on the other side of her face. Same prep, same technique, same brushes. She turned side to side in the mirror for a full 30 seconds. Then she looked at me and said, "Which side is which?" She couldn't tell. Neither could I. So if you're already using Huda Beauty and you're happy with it, that's your call. But if you're paying premium prices and expecting your skin to look snatched and luminous, you'll be underwhelmed. Your money can work harder than this. If this is saving you from wasting money on the wrong foundation, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm testing 5 concealers, and one of them is sabotaging every foundation on this list. You don't want to miss that one. And the next foundation almost made it to the top of my list. Almost. One thing kept it out, and it's something you won't notice until 3 hours into wearing it. Number 2, House Labs. Now we're getting somewhere. 8 out of 10. This foundation does a lot of things right for skin that's lived a life. It's lightweight, which matters because heavy formulas are the enemy of mature skin. They sink into every line and crease, and by midday, you look like you're wearing a mask, not makeup. House Labs goes on with a beautiful satin finish. Not too matty, not too dewy. That in-between glow that looks like healthy skin catching the light naturally. Some people call it a dewdrop finish, that subtle luminosity that reads as she takes care of her skin instead of she's wearing a full beat. And it's buildable, so you can layer it over age spots or areas with more texture without it getting cakey or thick. I've used this on clients with significant dryness and crepey texture around the jawline, and it performed well. So why not a 10? Because on some clients, especially those with deeper lines around the mouth and forehead, I notice it creasing after a few hours. The formula starts settling into fine lines. It's subtle at first, but it builds. On a 25-year-old, you'd never notice. But on skin in your 50s and 60s, those fine lines become more visible as the afternoon goes on. By evening, you can see the product sitting inside the creases around your mouth like thin little rivers. It's close, genuinely close, but that settling keeps it from the top spot. So what could possibly beat a foundation that gets this much right? The answer has to do with something none of these other 4 foundations even attempt. Now let me tell you about the one I reach for first. Number 1, Luxe Cosmetics. 11 out of 10, and I'm not exaggerating. The first thing you notice is the color-changing technology. You apply it and it reads your actual skin tone and adapts to it right in front of you. No guessing at the makeup counter, no buying 3 shades hoping one works, no oxidizing orange by noon. It just becomes your color. I watched a client apply it on one side of her face and then hold her bare arm next to her cheek. The match was seamless. She'd been color matched wrong at department stores for 20 years. But the color matching isn't even the best part. This formula is lightweight, almost like a tinted serum, but the coverage is real. It smooths over enlarged pores and uneven texture. And unlike NARS, it doesn't just sit on top of your skin like a coat of paint. It actually blends into it. It doesn't disappear after an hour like the Lancome. And unlike House Labs, it doesn't crease into fine lines as the day goes on. By hour 6, hour 8, it still looks like it did when you first applied it. No touch-ups, no mirror checks, no midday panic. I've used this on clients with serious dryness, crepey texture on the cheeks, deep marionette lines, age spots, all of it. And every single time they look in the mirror and see skin. Not makeup. Skin that looks healthy and comfortable and like theirs, just on a really good day. In Korean beauty, we have a phrase for this. Your skin but better. Your face still looks like your face. It just looks like you slept 9 hours, drank water all day, and caught the perfect light. That's birthday skin. That's what Luxe Cosmetics gives you. If you want to try it yourself, the link is in the description below. And if you've been layering powder on top of your foundation to keep it in place, stop. I'll show you why that's making everything worse in next week's video.